Shalom, shalom. It's your Ash Ibad back in the game in the spirit, man. You already know, man. Got to give all praise, honor, and glory into the Most High. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash, Shalom, Yasharala. Hope y'all been blessed. We got a good one for y'all. And look, man, before I even get into this lesson, if you a nigga who only watch the Israelite truth lies or Israelite content when it's dealing with pussy, you are not going to fucking make it, bro. You're not gonna make it. Because for you to even get this understanding and this knowledge, bro, that's Daniel. Okay, that's Salakia, bro. But for you to get this knowledge and understanding, you have to be able to use and change your spirit, because this understanding that we're going to give you is only going to work if you have the spiritual foundation of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. We could sit here and tell you all the things about women, female nature, and all these things, but at the end of the day, it's up to the Most High whether or not a lot of y'all brothers is going to get cast off with these women, or you're going to be able to overcome them. Look, you need the spirit at the end of the day, and if you don't got the spirit, I mean, it is what it is. So we got a good one. We about to break down the simp, the biggest simp of the Bible, aka AHAB, outside of Adam. And basically we're just gonna tell y'all, man, that if you a simp in these last days, man, not only are you gonna kill yourself, but you gonna allow your woman to kill not only herself but you as well. So y'all brothers, I got my brothers Ghetto Genius and Malak. Y'all brothers got any opening statements?
Hey, shalom, y'all. First and foremost, want to give all the praises, infinite glory and honor unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Kakwadash. Lord, what is less edifying for the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel only. We back at it again in the spirit. Let's get into it.
Yes, sir, man. All praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. May we continue to receive our daily bread, mental, physical, and spiritual, most importantly, spiritual. And through all our transgressions, may the Most High continue to be merciful towards us to receive this word and the understanding of what's to come and what's, as in this case, what has already happened and what's happening now. So, hey, man, got to keep the faith and keep the understanding. Let's get it.
The water, bro. So yeah, man, basically, we just gonna break down the simp dynamic. We talk about it a lot. See, the reason why we don't talk about women all the time, like most of these other red pill niggas or spiritual niggas, is because honestly, they're not that important. In my honest opinion, women can either be your biggest asset or your biggest hindrance. There's never anything in between. At the end of the day, bro, a woman's either gonna be in one spirit with you, she's gonna look at you one way. Does she see you as an asset or does she see you as a tool? If she sees you as a tool, she's gonna pick you up and use you when she needs you, and just throw you away and put her in a little closet box. And what's in the toolbox? Other tools. So when you think about the modern day female, you know what I'm saying? She got different tools. She got different tools for different needs. You know what I'm saying? You got one, he got money. You know what I'm saying? One, driving around. One, entertainment. One for spiritual knowledge and understanding. But at the end of the day, what you brothers can't do is you can't get locked in a woman's toolbox, aka meaning what? You can't get locked in her emotional trapping that she's gonna put you in whenever you're around her. Because at the end of the day, the biggest thing that the Most High is gonna use a woman for is to test you. And I want to get this in the book of Job. So we're gonna go to Job chapter 2, verse 9. So this is the book of Job chapter 2, verse 9, and it reads, "Then said Job's wife unto him, Do you still retain your integrity? Curse Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai and die. But he said unto her, You speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High? And shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips." So a lot of times the Most High will put a woman in your path to see if you're gonna blaspheme the Most High. Because at the end of the day, women don't have faith like a man. I'm not saying that certain sisters don't have faith. You got to counsel Judith, Ruth, Esther, women like that. But in actuality, when it comes down to it, the main people who have faith in the Bible, who are the spiritual foundation of all the things in the Bible, are men. It is what it is. So at the end of the day, bro, more often than not, most of the majority of women you come into contact are just going to be obstacles that you have to overcome. And most brothers fail. Why do most brothers fail? Because they don't keep their eye on the prize, which is what? The Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, which is what? His son, Yahweh Shai, which is what? Doing the things you need to do on a daily basis. And then at the end of the day, having a woman there. You know what I'm saying? And it comes down to, does the woman see you as a tool or asset? Because if she sees you as an asset, it's something that she's going to constantly invest, and she's going to tie her soul and all her energy into, because she wants to build that up. Just like a man that she sees valuable, she wants to do everything in her power to build that man up, to help that man up, and do whatever he says, do whatever he tells her to do. Compared to a tool, like I said, she just uses you and then throws you away when she don't need you no more. But what's your brother's opinion on that? Yo, y'all there?
Yeah, what happened?
Y'all gonna say anything or not?
Oh no, I'll just try to make sure everything good. But yeah, I mean, it's that simple, man. We say it all the time. The woman cannot be taken that seriously, man. Especially not in these times, yo. Because let's be for real, they don't believe in about anywhere between 90 to 95% of the shit that comes out of their mouth, bro. It's really about trying to manipulate you into believing it. That's where they get their power from. They get it from you believing and endorsing in their dumb shit, which makes you a simp. Obviously, the word simp is short for simpleton. And when it comes to women, you're a simpleton, meaning shit, really a combination of a dumbass and a jackass. You know what I'm saying? Like you just going with everything because you really think it's gonna benefit you in the long run with this woman, just by going with everything that she either going with everything that she has to say, or anything of anything that she has to say when it comes to a topic of grave importance. So that level of being vigilant has to be much higher for us now, because pretty much all of us have been through more than enough situations with women so far in our lives to not have some type of understanding on how the dynamic between, not only the dynamic between the way women and the way men and women should be, but also, even more importantly in these times, what it actually is. So that you don't want to be no damn simp / simpleton or spiritual jackass. You want to be focused on the Most High, so that way he can give you that vision to see straight through, for the most part, the woman's uh really the woman's bullshit and her shenanigans. So yeah.
Come on, bro. You can't get caught up with the bullshit of a woman, man. This is gonna lead you down to the depths of hell. That's all. That's all a cantankerous woman will do for you. That's why. Well, I'm not gonna say that's why the scripture said. I'm gonna go ahead and get the precept. It's the book of Sirach. This is the book of Sirach, the 25th chapter and the 16th verse. I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. Just showing you, how a wicked woman, will lead you down to that pathway. But we know a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. So if you're a simp, aka a wicked man, then you in the same pathway. Like the Most High is going to deliver. Most High is going to put that on you. To have to partake in that, because you are ultimately putting the woman over the Most High. See, when you're a simp, like Ken said, a simp, or Ghetto Genius said, simp is a simpleton. A simple-minded nigga worships women because he worships, or he idolizes people who make him feel, or he idolizes a being that like makes him feel like makes him pass accountability from himself. Just basically a simp. What a simp does is, the reason a simp idolizes the woman is because doing so puts all the pressure and puts all the onus on the woman. It takes everything off of yourself. So you're being a wicked man in that way, because ultimately we're only supposed to venerate Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. We're not supposed to venerate a woman. We're supposed to take accountability for our actions and examine ourselves daily. We're not supposed to be a simp and just basically, put all that on a woman. I'm not saying a woman should put all that on a man either. I'm definitely not saying that. I'm just saying we shouldn't be putting that all on a woman, and casting all aspersions and all blame and all everything, and basically come to the Most High and say, well, she did this to me. It's like, nah, you now don't get it twisted with the society that we live in and whatnot, you know, and the fact that most brothers have not learned, you know, proper understanding of who we are, haven't been in the proper mindset since we were very young to grasp, you know, a real rulership mentality. Because of that, you know, brothers fall into the hands of women and start venerating females, getting to female worship and whatnot. But that's not how it's supposed to be. When you come into this truth, you're supposed to put all that to the side, put off all that weak nature, as it says in Second Ezra, the 14th chapter. Putting aside a weak nature, it's also putting aside that simp spirit. That's just gonna lead you down to the depths of hell, man. Right along with that woman that's acting out of her role as well. See, when a woman leads, it's only gonna lead to a situation and a house full of chaos and contention, because that's the spirit that galvanizes her. She's galvanized by chaos and confusion, because that, number one, alleviates her of accountability, because she can always blame someone else. She can always look within somebody else and say, you know, okay, this person made me do it. But also too, you know, they get bored very easily. What does a woman frequently say? I get bored easy. So when someone's bored, they're looking for any form of mean of excitement to their life, and no matter if it's positive or negative. So that's going to be the environment when you led by one, which is why it leads you down to hell, because now she's galvanized by anything. So by proxy, you'll fall after that. So when it's time to do wicked activities, when it's time to, you know, forsake the Most High or whatever, or basically do anything to fulfill your lust of the flesh, do anything to make you feel good in the moment, you're gonna be lockstep in doing it, as opposed to keeping the will of the Father, man. I just want to get into count. It's Genesis 19 and 24. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven, and he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And I'm not gonna go too deep into this account. Brothers got different interpretations on what this actually means. I ain't really trying to get into all that. I'm just basically saying how, you know, the example right there of women are naturally tied down to the world, man. They're naturally, they have a hard time looking outside of what's given to them. So if you falling behind a woman, you're gonna fall within that same spirit. Now, Lot, you know, he was strong. He was strong-willed. He had his eyes focused on the prize. He had his eyes focused on what the angels was telling him to leave, man, to lead the city. You know, the woman, you know, on the other hand, his wife, you know, couldn't see that far in, couldn't have that much faith. See, when you fall behind a woman, that's naturally gonna lower your faith, because they don't really have no faith like that. They can't focus on what they can't physically see, which is why you notice a lot of the times women are confounded when you start talking to them on a very high spiritual level, and they can't physically see what you're talking about. They call you things like weird. They call you things like conspiracy theorists. They start, you know, laughing at you and whatnot, because they, in their mind, it's like, where are you getting all this information from? But it's like, it's the spirit working within you. So that just goes to show right there that if you're falling behind them, that's just gonna lead you down to the same level that they on, which is pretty much nowhere without leadership. I mean, woman by herself, there's very few women by themselves that can get a proper level of understanding. They got to be led by somebody. So if you being a simp and you fall after them, then ultimately you're on a pathway to nowhere as well. And we don't want to be that way as men.
Hey, Con, good point. And one thing you said in regards to the man and the woman is in regards to a man giving his woman the lead because he doesn't, you know, honestly, he just don't got the balls to lead himself. You know what I'm saying? That comes back to that mommy syndrome, man. You know, and this is a book of Proverbs 5:1. It says, "My son, attend to my wisdom and bow your ear to my understanding." So the simple-minded man is just like the simp is just his definition of his name. Simple. When you simple, you have no knowledge and understanding. So you at a very low level. And honestly, you're just easy pickings to a woman. Now, we're not going to talk about more so just the aspect of a man and a woman dating, you know, a simp dating. I'm more so just talking about, you know, what's going to happen if you're a simp in the day of, because at the end of the day, that's what all these lives are for, just to prepare y'all to gird y'all up. Because at the end of the day, I mean, if we being real, if you brothers is going into the tribulation with a woman, don't expect her to be there at the end with you. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand, when you're in a furnace, you got a lot of heat, and most women just can't take the pressure, bro. You know, at the end of the day, I said like this: if you in this truth, with a woman now, you know, most high willing, you and her make it through, but she hasn't been battle tested. But in the days of Isaiah 4:1, when things are already at such a chaotic time and all this shit is going on all around you, those women are going to be the women that are more than likely going to stay there for the long haul because they have no other option. You know what I'm saying? Until you see a woman willing to give away to society before that day comes, I personally wouldn't expect much. This is the book of Proverbs 5, and I'll go to verse 5. It says, her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell, lest you should ponder the path of life. Her ways are movable, that you cannot know them. Like Swint said, you know, at the end of the day, if a woman gets bored easily, she gonna get bored of the tribulation. You know what I'm saying? She gonna be tired of sleeping on the same leaf with you or being in the same camp, and she just gonna say fuck it. So that's why you gotta have your foundation in this, which is Psalms 28, verse 7. It says, "The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in Him." Not a woman. His heart trusts in this. King David saying that his heart trusts in the Lord. Therefore, my heart greatly rejoicing, with my song will I praise Him. The Lord is their strength, and He is the saving of His anointing. Save your people and bless your inheritance. Feed them also and lift them up forever. So if you a man with a simp mindset, I mean, you can't really be anointed because at the end of the day, you're not in the proper order, and the Most High is not the author of confusion.
I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, you got to be in lockstep. You got to be along with the proper righteous order, because not doing so, you're not really getting the tools that you need for salvation, which is the ultimate goal at the end of the day anyway. And that's not going to lead you, because as a man, it's like we gotta look within. We gotta constantly look within and see if we're doing the right thing. If we align properly with the Father, and being aligned properly with the Father is being a strong man. The Most High is not calling men to be weak. The Most High is not calling men to walk behind or walk beneath people who are supposed to be weaker vessels in comparison to us. So if you're walking behind a weaker vessel, what does that say about you? Because the woman's already the weaker vessel than the man. But if you falling behind the woman, you're even weaker vessel than the weaker vessel. The Most High can't use you. The Most High can't gird that spirit up. I mean, you've shown yourself to be a speck of dirt to the Most High ultimately. So that we gotta constantly keep that in mind as brothers. And I wanna get a precept in the book of Revelation, the 2nd chapter. This is Revelation chapter 2 and verse 20. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calls herself a prophetess, to teach and seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. And I gave her space to repent for fornication, and she repented not. So I want to get that right there, because when you have a situation where you got a woman leading a man, that's a Jezebel spirit that woman is in. She's in a spirit of trying to guide a man, and she may think in her mind she's trying to do it for proper understanding, but a woman can't actually lead a man in that way. So it's ultimately going to be, it's ultimately going to show itself in a wicked way. She's going to get, because righteousness is very straight, it's very narrow, it's very ordered and structured. Women naturally, they don't want to fall in line with that, which is why they need a man to impart that spirit to govern over that in that way, and then they just follow behind that leadership. See, a woman can't be in that proper authority spot because she gets bored with the things that are associated with righteousness, because righteousness is very repetitive. It's over and over again. That's why when you read the scriptures, you see repeated scriptures over and over again. Thus said the Lord this. It's the same thing. You read books. It's the same repeated precepts. I mean, you read the laws. It's the laws repeated. It's a rehearsal of righteousness. I mean, all we're doing right now is rehearsing the righteous acts. It's a rehearsal. It's repetition. Women get bored easily with repetition, so they can't be in a leadership they can't be in an authoritative position when the things that prop you up to be in authority are righteousness and order. To both of those things, they get bored of. So if you got a woman leading a man, more often than not, she gonna turn to a Jezebel. Let's just be real. More often than not, she gonna turn to a Jezebel. Then she gonna lead you down to the pit of hell. All kinds of fornication, idolatry against the Most High, because you got bored at right. You got bored at righteousness. You got bored at the law statutes. She got bored at righteousness. voided the law, statutes, commandments, and because you following her, you just went along with whatever she promoted to you or propagated to you. So it's like that's the reason why, like brothers, just because brothers say oftentimes, don't let a woman lead you, but they don't really go into why a woman can't lead. It's not just because a woman can't lead just because she can't have she can't read information and process it and teach information. A woman can do that. A woman can read information. A woman can process information. A woman can teach information. I mean, the scriptures do say, let the aged woman teach the younger woman. Let's go ahead and get that real quick in the book of Titus. This is Titus chapter 2 and verse 3. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not giving too much wine, teachers of good things. They may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, and to love their children. So the woman can teach. The woman has the ability to teach. She has the ability to discern what's right and wrong and be able to teach it, in a certain context. Yeah, of course, a woman can do that. She can't teach the scriptures like men can, of course, but she can teach, her children. She can teach worldly topics, things like that. So a woman has ability to do that. But the reason why a woman can't lead in this truth is because, like I said, this truth requires consistent repetition of and monotony and rehearsal of the same thing over and over again. I mean, you think about it, when us brothers, we come and teach this word, we pretty much have the same premise. We go into different topics, but we're pretty much teaching the same premise over and over and over again, each day. A woman eventually is going to get tired of that, and she's going to look for another form of excitement, which is going to ultimately be idolatry and fornication, because she's not going to look for a form of excitement that's righteous. She's going to look for the opposite of what she's involving herself in currently, which is going to be wickedness and fornication and idolatry. That's why a woman who leads a man goes into being a Jezebel, because she may have good intentions. So you got some women that's in this truth, you know what I'm saying, who have good intentions. She may have good intentions, but eventually she's going to turn into a Jezebel, because she's going to get bored at the repetition of righteousness, which is what's required to lead a body or lead a person in this walk of faith.
Hey, Con, bro. And that's a great point you said. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7:26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands is bands, who pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. And when we say this, it doesn't mean that all women are wicked. Now, I'm gonna be real, most women are wicked, but you do got some genuine sisters. But the only way a genuine sister can remain righteous, because this difference from being righteous in the moment versus staying righteous, bro. Because at the end of the day, the tribulation, we don't know how long that's gonna last. So you got to have somebody who's willing to endure. And that's somebody who does this. This book of Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of your time, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. There's a reason why when you look at a lot of older brothers in the truth, and they talk about how in the event that you get a divorce or somebody falls out of the truth, they always say more often than not the woman. Because let's be real, especially in 2021 with the type of society that women have now, like a 20-year-old woman, 25-year-old woman, she can't even watch the same TV show for 10 minutes. So do you really think that she's going to be in these precepts every single day? Because to be real with you, sometimes the precepts can get dull, but there's times where you just don't really want to do it. But you got to have some type of discipline in you every single day to stay devoted to this truth. And that's what shows the Most High that you're devoted, and you're devoted in him. You know what I'm saying? Through what? Reading his knowledge and his understanding. So when it comes down to it, I mean, I'm not saying that women, I mean, of course, women are going to be saved, but they're going to be saved for what? Childbearing. They're not going to be saved to lead and guide a nation, because they just can't. They just can't. And that's another thing, too, is for a lot of you brothers, man. The reason why you a simp is because you can't tell a woman that to her face, man. A lot of y'all be scared, man. A lot of y'all be afraid to tell these Israelite women. You got to understand something about these Israelite women. When you have them in check, they probably the best type of woman out there, but it's kind of hard to keep them in check when you don't rule the society. So you men, you got to be strong enough to deal with these women, because let's be real, the Jake woman is easily the most masculine woman on earth. She's the most woman liable to buck and try to do things on her own because she has a lot of spiritual energy. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be stronger than her. You gotta be her Lord. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be the one guiding her and giving her the things that she needs to and leading her. And when she's talking too much, tell her to shut the fuck up. Or when she's just going off, just be like, hey, look, you know, ain't nothing, no disrespect, but you don't know what you're talking about. Let me handle this.
And you think about it.
Oh, go ahead.
My fault. Go ahead.
And I was just saying, you gotta tell her that straight to her face. And the main thing that you brothers got to do is you got to kill these women's delusions into thinking that there's something more in this truth than what they really are.
Con, absolutely. And the thing about it is that requires knowing yourself and learning yourself and studying yourself. A lot of brothers, you got to focus on studying yourself, see what you can handle and see what things you can put on your plate. Because honestly, man, like Young High Flyers was, or Ash was saying, you know, at the end of the day, it's like the Jake woman is, you know, is extremely masculine, is extremely male envious, you know, and you know has a lot of energy, you know, in terms of male enmity. So it just comes with it. So you know, to deal with that as a brother, that is a lot, you know. So you got to examine yourself and check to see, do you want to deal with that? Do you want to deal with that on a daily basis? Do you want to deal with that? Because a lot of brothers say, I want a wife, I want to have a wife and this and the third. Hey, bro, you got to examine yourself and just see if that's what you need to do in this society. You got to examine yourself and see if that's a journey that you want to embark on, because it comes with a lot of shit, man. Because you're gonna have to consistently check someone who thinks, or check someone who in this society is taught to them that they should be over you. And even while she's with you, everything around her is telling her that her being a proper submission under you is wrong. Everywhere she go, from her friends to her family, you know, to her co-workers, anytime she's not around you, and even when she's around you via her smartphone, everywhere she goes, it's telling her that her being in a righteous submission underneath Yahweh Shai, and you in that and in that order, and her being the last of that order is wrong. They tell her that she's crazy for doing that, or she's weak for doing that. Honestly, that's the thing with weakness. It actually takes a strong woman to put off the societal programming and come back to the righteous order and actually live her life underneath that righteous order. Now, I will say this: that takes a strong woman to do that, but the forces working in society are much stronger than most people's spirits. Not all, because you are going to have the elect of the nation of Israel whose spirit can overpower that strong force of society, that spiritual war that's being waged on the people right now. But you are going to have, you know, majority of our people who there's the spirit of Babylon is going to overpower the spirit of the Most High trying to work within them, or the spirit of the Most High working with working in other brothers to try to assist with a weaker member spirit. It's like with you as a brother. You may have a sister that you're working with and whatnot. You try to tell her this and the third, but she don't want to listen. Hey, man, at the end of the day, I mean, there's ain't really much you can do. If the Most High is saying nah, then ain't really nothing really you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to understand and be prepared for that as well, because brothers just say this, brothers just throw that term out there, wife this, I want to wife this, wife that, or I could do it. Like, brothers have a spirit on them where it's like you view it as a badge of honor to always put up with bullshit. You view it as a badge of honor to constantly bicker and argue and be able to push through that. But it's not a badge of honor. That's putting yourself that's putting yourself in a position that's making your life harder than it needs to be. That's making your walk in this truth harder than it needs to be. You know, so it's like you just got to examine those things and just see what's the right situation for you. Because ultimately, bro, I'll say this: if you're not constantly examining, you're not constantly looking to see around your life what's going on and whatnot, and if you're in the right position for yourself, you can end up that spirit can revert, and you can end up turning to being the AHAB, man. Because the woman, she's just gonna keep coming with it, because she has not just herself, but the spiritual demon Satan and the forces of Babylon, the physical manifestation of Satan, working within her against you. So if you're not careful to check that, hey man, you could switch. You could switch over because that's gonna seem like the easier option. It's tough to constantly put up with bullshit over each and every day and stay strong in that, man. So you got to check it and examine that situation within yourself, because if you don't, you'll end up looking for the easier option, which in this society, the easy option is to be a simp.
Exactly. That's the thing. The easy option is to be a simp. The easy option is to capitulate to a woman's desires and just grind and just give her money every month. The easy option is to be a woman worshiper. And you know what else is the easy option? To take the vaccine and to take the market of beefs.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I was watching a video by Remnant Save 144 in regards to how we're refined, and there was this alleged Edomite woman. She could be a Jake if she ever find the truth, but I mean, you never know if she might be. She has some pretty good understanding. I'm not gonna lie. And basically, it was talking about how when there's somebody who's making like iron or refining silver and gold, they have to put it in there for a certain amount of time until the point where they can't keep it in there too long. And then she said, and how does the person who's making the silver or the gold know when it's time to take it out? And then she said, when they're able to see their own image in the silver or in the gold. And that's what we are. We're the Most High Yahweh's creation. So when we're in that furnace, he's going to put us through all these other obstacles, and he has to see his image. Now, at the end of the day, the Most High did create man and woman in his image, but realistically, he created the man in his image because the Most High is masculinity, man. The Most High is the foundation. He's long suffering. I mean, he's not even suffering, but he's patient. He's terrible. He's powerful. He's knowledgeable. I mean, he is everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why his name is He Is That He Is. You feel me? So when it comes down to that, you as a man, you have to keep that as your foundation, man. And that's hard. It's hard work. For you to please the Most High, I'll say this. It's not complicated, but I would say that it can be difficult at times because you're fighting so many different things on a physical level, mental level, and the spiritual level. And on top of that, the Most High wants you to, be a shepherd. And there's no fucking excuses for all of y'all who's listening like, oh, see, Brandon, you say we don't. Nah, nigga, ain't no fucking excuses, bro. But I'm just letting you know that when you're in this position, I can understand where you're coming from because I go through that every day. But at the end of the day, man, the Most High gave you more power, man. That's why he gave you full authority and power over a woman, man, because he entrusts you with this shit. He entrusts you to be a leader. He entrusts you to be a judge. He entrusts you to be a God on the earth, man. He entrusts you to keep the secrets. He entrusts you to keep the laws of command. But he know that these women's gonna go off, bro. Let's be real, bro. Let's be real. How many women in the truth that's not married, that's not fucking another nigga? But let's just be real. Let's just be real.
Let's be real about it. Let's be awesome.
They can sit here and say, but their actions don't show me. You know what I'm saying? They get bored real quick, man. And I want to read this in the book of Proverbs. This is 7, verse 5, or verse 1. It says, my son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with you. Keep my commandments and live, and my law is the apple of your eye. Bind them up your fingers, write them upon the table of your heart. Say unto wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding your kinswoman, that they may keep you from the strange woman, from the stranger, which flattereth with her words. For at the window of my house I look for my casement, and behold, among the simple ones, again, simple, I discern among the youth a young man void of understanding. And I want to go back down to verse 10. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot and subtle of heart. And I just want to go down to verse 19 or verse 18. She's telling this simple-minded man, come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with loves, for the good man is not at home. He has gone a long journey. He has taken a bag of money with him and will come home at the day appointed. And then in verse 22 says, he goeth after her straight away as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stock. So I want to stop there because at the end of the day, man, when you don't have the true knowledge and understanding of the woman, and you don't accept her nature, because a lot of brothers get exposed to the nature of a woman, but they don't accept it as truth, just like they don't accept certain aspects of this truth as the truth. They want to pick and choose. Well, I'll tell you like that. You're not understanding and getting the full truth of what's going on and what's going to happen with the modern day woman. At the end of the day, bro, that's going to lead you down to hell, because Verse 20, it says he has taken a bag of money with him and will come home at the day appointed. That's in reference to Yahweh Shah, man. And I promise you, brothers, man, when you like a brother like Ahab, and you think you were such a strong-minded woman, and she understands the truth, and she didn't take the V card, whatever the fuck she said. I mean, I don't really realistically see a woman.
You calling your woman a prophetess?
Let's just be real, bro. When you in that fucking woods, when you in the wilderness, I promise you, when your woman sees that you are such a bitch made dude, she's probably gonna go to another man who can lead her, which is automatically adultery, automatically you going off, and automatically the Most High more than likely is gonna cut y'all brothers off, man. That's another reason why you can't be a simp, because when you're a simp in the Great Tribulation, a woman's just gonna go to any man who can give her what she needs at that point. And you don't think that if a woman who's wicked enough to want to lead another man is not gonna be willing to cash you off for Esau or for another Jake with guns or carnal-minded Jake and just tell that Jake, yeah, kill that nigga. You haven't seen all these movies, these shows like Snapped, and they had an investigation where the woman, she killed her husband so she could get an insurance agency. Now look, I'm not saying all women are gonna do that, but I'm just saying a woman is liable to do anything in that day because she only respects power. So in that day, if she doesn't see the power coming from you, which is what? Yahweh, the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, she's going to try to find it elsewhere. And more than likely, with the Most High not dealing with either of y'all, she's going to go to a wicked ass nigga, probably with demons on him. And you never know. At that point, it's a lawless society. Anything goes. And that's why I get to the title, that you being a simp will cause yourself to get killed and also the woman in front of you to get killed, man.
And I want to bring out a precept. Let me get this in the book of Sirach, because I want to touch on a few points that you hit on, because you had some great points. This is the book of Sirach, the 25th chapter, and the 22nd verse. I'm sorry, the 22nd verse, but go down. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. A wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh in heavy countenance and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Verse 25. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go. And I wanted to get that series of precepts because it touches on a few points that you brought out. When a woman, if she's in a leadership position over a man, if she's maintaining the man spiritually, that's only going to be short lived. And that's the thing. Like a woman can bring a man into the truth. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. Go to the unbelieving husband. Let's go to 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter. This is 1 Corinthians 7 and 14. Actually 13. And the woman which hath not, and the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy. So the reason I want to get that is because a woman can bring a man to this truth. A woman can sanctify her belief, her faith can help sanctify the husband. But eventually the torch is supposed to be passed. While you're in that grooming process, a woman can bring you to the truth. You got some relationships in this truth, or marriages or whatnot, whatever you want to call it, where the woman was in the truth and the man wasn't really trying to hear it. But because of the woman's faith, that caused the man to kind of really get with it. But then the man is supposed to take over and be that leader right there. The woman's not supposed to always, because in the beginning, she kind of acting in a leadership position because she believes and he doesn't. So she's spiritually more sound and she's spiritually guiding him. But eventually it's supposed to switch, because as a man, you get more, you have capacity to access more understanding and knowledge, because the spirit is working really through you, and the scriptures really are really for you first and foremost, and then the woman. Like the scriptures say, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men. So the man is the one who the Most High is dwelling through. So While she's bringing you into the truth, you studying, you doing your reading, you watching your videos, you're on point with it. Eventually, that spirit of the Most High, if you're doing it in truth and sincerity, is going to activate in you, and now you're going to be leading the wife. And if she's a good woman, if she's really a wife material woman, you said what?
She gonna let you lead.
She gonna let you lead. Exactly. She gonna notice that, and she gonna follow. She may be guiding you at first. She may be guiding you because she in that moment she knows more than you because she's been faithful to it and you haven't. But eventually, if she's really a wife material woman, she gonna fall back and she gonna recognize, okay, I've done my job. Now it's time for him to take over, and that's what she'll do. So, a woman, if she maintain her, if she and that's gonna create a peaceful, order-like environment where the man, like I was saying earlier, the man being the one that leads through the understanding and knowledge, and not getting bored and not getting upset at the repetition that righteousness entails, the continuous work over and over again of doing the same thing daily, the monotonous nature of righteousness. As a man, you're not going to, as a man of the Lord, you ain't gonna really get bored with that. You understand it. You look forward to, like, you understand that the race has not been finished yet. Contrary to what some people say, the race is not finished yet. There's still more for you to do daily while in this walk. You constantly reading, constantly studying, constantly putting up new lessons, doing more work and things like that. You know that, hey, there's no time to get bored in the truth because there's always something you could be doing. A woman, she gonna look for the negative aspects of it and say, I gotta do this, I don't want to do all this. What's this over here? And now next she's gathering abroad and she's doing all kinds of she's involving herself in all kinds of forms of witchcraft and Wicca, and now she's back at the Christian church, and she more into the world than she is into this truth, because the world provides her more options of excitement and more options of spontaneity. This truth is not about spontaneity, man. This truth about repetition and doing it over and over again until you get it right. And then once you get it right, do it more and more over again so you can perfect it.
Hey, so let me ask you this. You feel that most women in the truth right now just think it's a fad?
Most women in the truth,
or who know
you said what?
Like most women who are kind of engaged in the truth right now, do you think most of them think it's a fad?
Most women in the truth, I wouldn't say they think it's a fad. I do believe that most women in the truth recognize that this is the truth, but that doesn't mean they're going to be loyal to it. They know that. I think that most women who know the Israelites, I think that they recognize and they know this is the truth, especially with how prophecy is speaking in the world right now in relation to the Bible. There's no denying that this is the truth if the Most High is giving your eyes access to this real understanding. But that doesn't mean that they're loyal to that. They'll know it's the truth. I don't think they think it's a fad, but I don't think that it's not working within them as much as it is in the men to recognize the seriousness of it. But they do know it's the truth, though.
Got
so
you.
For sure. So just real quick as well, I want to get this as well to another point that you had brought up in regards to let me just get the precept. Go to Proverbs. It's Proverbs 5. And because another thing about being a simp is not recognizing the reality of the time period that we in, because a lot of brothers in this truth, unfortunately, they try to relate biblical times and the biblical nature of women back then to now. You can't do that, brother. We're in a completely different time period. Satan has the minds of majority of these women in and out the truth. It is what it is. I know some brothers may not like that. Oh, you're talking down about the daughters of Zion. You got to uplift the righteous sisters. It's on the third. Hey, bro. Like I said the other day, in order to uplift someone, you got to tell them the truth, and you got to tell you got to recognize the reality of a situation versus what you want it to be. The reality of the situation is most of these women, even in the truth, will be classified as strange women. It is what it is. So we got to recognize that as brothers, because if you don't, that's going to lead you to being a simp. And quiet as kept, you got a lot of simps in this truth. You got a lot of brothers in this truth, who they can't process in their mind the reality of the current state of modern day women. They look they're trying to turn Jezebels into Sarahs, or they're looking for Sarah qualities within a Jezebel. It's like you can't do it that you can't. You gotta look at the overall person and recognize that this is who this person is. Now I'm not saying that a woman doesn't like you can't use qualities that a woman has for what you're trying to do. I mean, of course, if you're a man and you got a certain worldly vision that you may have, just because a woman's not a righteous woman don't mean or semi-righteous because that's a debate whether a woman can even be righteous or not. But that's another story for another day. But if you got man and you got a vision, you got a goal in mind and whatnot. You can leverage women to accomplish the things you want to do because women when they can see the benefit in something, they can be great workers. They can be great assists. I always say this. Oftentimes I find with women, they can sometimes greater than men. They're very much more attentive to detail. And some of the things that men may miss because we'll focus on the bigger picture, focus on this and this and getting everything done and the goal and the bigger picture at hand and thinking 2-3 steps ahead to stay ahead of competition. The woman may see that intricate detail that you missed. So it's good to leverage women for certain things you maybe want to accomplish, but just within this truth, she still has a strange mindset because her mindset and her origin is still Babylonian. Because you may come across a woman in this truth who they'll have an issue with polygyny. They'll have an issue with the fact that sex alone does not equal marriage. They'll have an issue when you bring up the fact that men can sleep with prostitutes. When you bring out, and I'm just using those 3 examples, and because those are some of the 3 main things that you see when you bring out those things to women in this truth, and they take issue with it. That lets you know her mindset is still strange. She may put on a righteous act. She may, for the most part, be a decent woman in this truth. She may carry herself with modesty. She may have a submissive nature. She may see value in a man's vision, and what he's trying to accomplish, and even cast on what she's doing to work solely for that man and what he's trying to accomplish, and literally be his helpmeet. But if you bring out certain more bitter aspects of the scriptures to her, she still has a strange mindset in regards to that. So that lets you know her spirit in some way, shape, or form, regardless if she may be, for the most part, pretty decent, her spirit is still Babylonian in nature. Her origin is still Babylon. She still has parts of Babylon she has not let go of. So that's the reality of women in this truth. So brothers oftentimes want to say this and the third and pretty much project on the women instead of look at the reality of women, who they are, what their mindsets are, and assess from there. That honestly can lead you to being a simp, man, because you're like, it's like you're being simple-minded in that aspect because you're looking solely on what the surface tells you. You're looking solely on the two-dimensional side of things. And you're not looking beneath. You're not looking to see, damn, why is it that she's saying this? Why does she have it? Why does she keep this part of the scripture, but she has an issue with this part? It's because her mindset is still strange in nature. But if you don't recognize that can get you trapped. That can get you caught in her traps, man. That can get you caught up into her snares. Next thing you know, you worshiping her. Next thing you know, you're lauding too much praise, undeserving praise to her, and things of that nature. And that can take you into being a simp. And I just want to I'll bring out this precept to round it out. This is the book of Proverbs, the 5th chapter, and the first. I'm gonna start the first verse. My son, attend unto my wisdom and bow thine ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion, that my lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smooth in oil. And let's get that right there, because like I said, a lot of the women in this truth, when they talk, they have a feminine voice. They sound sweet. They sound soft. They don't sound real masculine like women in the world be sounding. So they got that voice that's at the drop of a honeycomb. That sweet voice. It just sounds so. A woman's voice, honestly, one of the most overlooked aspects of a woman. A woman's voice, honestly, can not to use a worldly context in regards to the spiritual lesson, but can turn her from a 6 to a 7, from a 6 to a 7.5. Honestly, it can. Just her voice and how the softness and the feminine nature within and the tone, the feminine tonality that she uses when she speaks, that can do wonders for her. But You know that, but if you're not careful, you can start hearkening unto her strange ideologies. Because, like it says, the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smooth and oil. So she's saying those smooth things. She's saying things that sound good to you. She's talking about how she wants to be a helpmeet. She's talking about how she wants to be your wife. She's talking about how she's gonna be submissive. How she gonna do it? How you her Lord. She calling you a prophet. You know, all this type of shit, man. She doing all this to you, and in your mind you thinking, damn, man, how about Shemel Shah blessing me, man? I found my Sarah. You know, you thinking all that in your head, man. But her mindset is still Babylonian. So when you start to implement, or when you start to bring to her or present to her some of the more bitter aspects of the scriptures that a woman, from a woman's sense, you know, multiple women,
Yeah, polygyny is the biggest one.
Yeah, polygyny is one of the biggest ones, and I'm not even saying that polygyny is something that brothers should be doing in Babylon. I mean,
at this point right now, I would recommend not.
Yeah.
You know, if you can, I mean, hey, all power to you. But me personally, that's not something that I'm really focused on at this particular moment. Now, when Isaiah 4:1 comes, it's a different story. You feel me? But
yeah, exactly. It's different then, because, you know, first off, that's prophecy, and second off, it's like
you're gonna have all the power.
You're gonna have it. It's gonna be roles reversed in that moment. It's like, and also too, you're gonna not just have all the power, but you're gonna have your Shemel Shah on your side. So you'll be able to handle whatever he presents to you, because he's gonna be working with all his elect men in that day for protection in that day. Like the elect men are gonna be the brothers that's not getting touched when all the chaos and all the plagues are happening in the world. So it's like she no longer has access to those things of society, because society is downtrodden. Unless she wants to take an MLB, then she got to implement herself in the Esau's New World Order, whatever that's going to be when that time period comes. And so all the power from an outside the world perspective, from an outside Esau society perspective, is going to be on the men, because the Most High is going to be working the miracles through the men. It's not going to be through the women. The Most High is working the miracles. He's going to be working the miracles through the men. He going to lift the standard up on the men. He going to lift the protection up on the men. The women, they got to get get in line with the men in order to be associated with such. So it's like, that's the reason why in that day, well, that's one of the reasons why, because many reasons, that's one of the reasons why in that day, yeah, you know, we're gonna be polygynous in that day. But right now, we're still the tail set of the head. The woman is still ruling over us. You know, when she still has access to Esau society, when she still has 24/7 access to news and to information that's against what you're telling her. Honestly, it's not advisable, because verse 4. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, and her steps take hold on hell. So it's like, brothers oftentimes read the scripture and just associate it with a woman of another nation, because it says a strange woman. And I understand that, because a woman of another nation, because she's of another nation by proxy, she can't understand the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because she's of another nation. And, you know, unless you bring her into the fold as a concubine and all that, she's following exactly what you say. But her alone, of course, the Most High is not gonna give nothing to her, because it's not for her anyway. But, you know, I'm focused on the strange woman as a woman in this truth, because you got Israelite women who can still be strange women. You know, you got Israelite women who they still have a Babylonian nature. They still have a heathen nature associated with them. So if you're following behind them, you allow her words and what she's doing for you, and her submissive nature and her helpmeet nature towards you, to overpower you and to let your guard down, and ultimately take you away from your creator, and basically bring all the praise onto her because of the things she's actively doing within your life. Hey man, she's gonna lead you down to death and lead you to hell, man. Because like I said, eventually she's gonna get bored of this truth. And even women have men that's leading them, they still get bored of the truth.
Hell yeah.
How much more she got to take on responsibility in the truth? It's gonna be more even quicker for her to get bored.
And Monatizak said, and he even said he been in this truth 13 years. He done had a wife, you know, she left and got out the truth and got another one. He said, look, man, at the end of the day, man, you know, if a woman leave you, bruh, you know, technically she could come back if she didn't smash another dude, but you got to think of a woman like a wild banshee in that day, where she just gonna let loose. She gonna see her eye on something, and she just not. That's why you gotta have the law, and you gotta be under the law, because the law keeps her bound to you, bruh. When you're dealing with a woman and you not so fervent in the law and she doesn't believe in the law like how you do, it's not gonna fucking work, bro. But one thing that you said in regards to this truth, in regards to a man getting his Sarah, the book of Sirach 25 and 21, stumble not at the beauty of woman and desire her not for pleasure. And then you already read the other precept, but that's why you brothers, man, no matter, like I said, bro, Jake women fine as fuck, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not all of y'all.
They are, bro.
Not all of y'all, but
it definitely ain't everybody. Definitely ain't everybody.
but I mean, at the end of the day, like, yeah, these Jake women are bad as shit, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
In relation to the women of the other nations, yeah,
for the most part, and also when they understand what they supposed to be, like, it's the perfect combination. But what does it say? Desire not a woman for her beauty, not her beauty. You feel me? Not her beauty. What does it say? Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, desire her not for pleasure. You can't be looking at these women for pleasure, because again, you got to understand spiritual energy is the hardest energy to control and harness. And if you're not a man that's fully rooted, deep rooted in this truth, a good seed, you're not gonna make it. And I'm gonna explain the reason why. Because when you go to Matthew and Yahushua is talking about the parables of the seeds. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh yeah, so when you look at Matthew 13 and 20 or 19, it says, when anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understand it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which receives seed by the wayside. Meaning what? What does Malak say? Most of these women are strange women. So the wicked one, which is Satan, he can just take her away after she listened to what you said, because it's very easy. She's very impressionable. I mean, again, Eve was the one who was deceived, not Adam. I mean, he was deceived he just followed his wife. He wasn't deceived, but you know what I'm saying? So, more often than not, women are like that. Verse 20, but he that receiveth seed into stony places, the same as he that heareth the word and Annie with joy receive it. Yet hath he not rooted in himself, but endure it for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arise because of the word, by and by he is offended. Now this is talking about but how much more a woman when chaos comes and shit gets tough? More often than not, a woman is going to look to you. A woman is not going to be able to, I'm telling you, bro, when a vaccine is mandated, all y'all brothers in this truth, you're going to have 5 women DMing you like, Lord, can you please help me? These women is ignoring you right now. These women ain't even batting you an eye. You're going to have women like, Ashabad, please, can you please help me in that day? I promise you. Verse 22, he also that receives seed among the thorns is he that hears the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he become unfruitful. Meaning what? Carnal nature. Now, women are much more carnal than a man. So more often than not, a woman doesn't have any type of deep rootedness into this truth. The only way she can pretty much get into this truth fully is by having a rock, man. By having a rock that she's bound to for life, man. Because realistically, bro, like when she's not bound to you, bro, it's just so easy for her to just go off, bro. That's why you can't really take these women too seriously. All y'all brothers, man, you gotta vet these women for 6 to 12 months. And if a woman, if she, this is what I say. I don't expect a woman to pass. And even at the beginning, I don't expect the woman to just be there constantly. Because one thing that Malak said is that a woman can be a great helpmeet when she sees value. But most women can't see spiritual value. So you might have a woman that is good, but she can't really see your value because she's looking at you from an outward side. She can't look at it inside. You see, there's always something that men always say is that a man can look at you for your potential, where a woman looks at you for your deficiencies. So I can see a brother new to the truth and be like, damn, you could be something great. A woman might look at a brother new to the truth, or a brother like me or Malak. I'm still new to the truth, but you know what I'm saying, relative to a lot of other brothers, I'm a little bit more fervent. And she's like, oh, that nigga don't got shit. Even if she knows she is Israelite, she gonna look at a nigga like Deacon or something, bro. Guerrilla Hebrew or something, or IUIC, because they got more clout, they got more following. But I damn sure tell you this, I'm not saying nothing off of them brothers, but them niggas more carnal than me. You know what I'm saying? Than a lot of brothers in the truth. So at the end of the day, what's best for a woman that day? The most spiritual of spiritual man she could get. But she's not gonna look at a spiritual man like that. So when you testing these women out, when you around these women, you got to keep that in mind, especially if they young, bro. They don't know shit. They don't know any better. They haven't fucked up and made bad decisions yet to understand what a valuable man is. So realistically, bro, they're not going to pass your test. But the thing is, you can't forget who a woman is. So if a woman comes back around, you're going to have to require 10 times as much as you did the first time, because you realize that she went off. Now, hey, I was going to raise the bar 100, now it's 500. And if you fall off at one time, you fucking done. I'm done with your ass. So you gotta keep that in mind. Women require more grace than men because they're women, but at the end of the day, you can't give them an inch, bro. You might give them grace as in you feel some pity for them, but at the end of the day, you gotta be stone cold, bro. You'll be more warm to your brother than a woman, bro. I'm gonna be real. When you in this truth, a lot of times you gotta be more warm to your brother than a woman, and it sounds backwards, but that's just the honest to God truth. Until that day comes when shit hits the fan.
And I want to bring out this precept. This is Baruch, the 4th chapter, in the 28th verse. For as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, or I'm gonna read that again. I'm gonna read it how it says it. For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so being returned, seek Him 10 times more. That's the spirit that you brought that out, because like as we're the woman of the Most High. The scriptures say He likened Israel to a comely and delicate woman. So what a woman to the Most High. So just as us, we went astray from the Most High. So we got to seek Him 10 times over, just 10 times being a lump sum, just over just a continuous amount. So if that's what we got to do to the Most High, we're the Lord to the woman. We're the power. God means power. We're the power to the woman in the flesh. You know, of course, we don't usurp the power of Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, but we're the power to the woman in the flesh. So just as we got to seek our power 10 times more when we go astray, shouldn't she have to do that to her power? You know, exactly. over and over and over again, 10 times more if she go astray. So that's what you brothers got to require these women. If a woman, you know, goes away and all this, that, and the third and whatnot, and she didn't see the value, and now she starts to hit the fan, and now she's starting to see, damn, like, you know, what I thought was important really is not important, and what's really important is righteousness, is the words of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. And who do the words of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah go to? Let's go to the book of Amos, the 3rd chapter. It's Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be an evil in a city, and the Lord hath not done it? Surely the Lord Yahweh will do nothing, but He revealeth His secret unto His servants, the prophets. The prophets are only men. All the prophets of old are men, only men. So it's like the Most High only reveals His secrets unto men. The Most High only reveals His prophecy, His oil, his deep, tough meat, hard to chew meat, the deep mysteries
to the men.
The dark parables, the dark sayings to the men. It only goes to the men. So
I mean, even when you think about that breakdown with that one lady, she was breaking down basic scriptures. She wasn't breaking down Revelation 20 or Ezekiel 17 or Ezekiel 37. Exactly. She can't understand that.
And she was still getting them wrong. She was breaking down, scripture that you learn when you come into this truth. I don't want to ever call the scripture simple, because that's the book of First Timothy says.
I would say milk phase.
Is exactly milk phase scriptures, because the scriptures say, all scripture is given under the inspiration of Yahweh. So all scripture is important, from the least, from the milk of the scriptures to the meat of the scriptures. They're all important. But she was getting the milk wrong, man. If you're getting the milk wrong, like, you can't understand this meat. And so it's like, it goes to show you that women are always going to butcher the scriptures, because they're always looking to import their feelings and how they feel about something into the words of the Most High. And the words of the Most High are not feelings based. The words of the Most High are not subject to change. We know, pursuing the Malachi, the 3rd chapter, that the Lord never changes. So we know the words of the Lord never change. They're always true. The scriptures say, let every word of Yahweh be true and every man a liar, man. So we know that the Most High's words are rock solid. So you can't have a woman trying to change that for her own feelings, which is what they always try to do. That's why the secrets are only given to the man, but that's also why, in them only being given to the man, if you as a man sacrifice that nature, that strong nature of you, because it takes a lot of strength to be occupied in the words of the Lord and to have faith in that when you can't see any of it. It takes a lot of strength to hold true and to stay true to the words of the Lord when everything in society is telling you that this is bullshit. When everything in society is telling you that it's craziness, it's conspiracy, and it's fake, and you believe in some man in the sky. That's not logical. Like with all the people, the law's done away with. You don't have to. That's in
I
the ancient.
mean,
That's
hey, you seen
old.
that bullshit? They said 144,000 is homosexual, allegedly. Some dumbass nigga on the internet.
Exactly. You got all kind of people twisting the scriptures to fit what they want to be. Because best believe that person that wrote that more than likely is a homosexual. Let's just be real. Why else would they be saying that? Because they want the word of the Most High to pertain to their wicked act. They want the word of the Most High to pertain to their feelings, to enwrap their feelings as well, which is exactly what women do. They want the word of the Most High to be subject to the change of their feelings, but it don't work that way. And you as a man, if you allow a woman to if you follow behind a woman, then just how she is naturally going to change the scriptures to fit her feelings, you're going to be doing that as well, which is going to cause both of y'all to go into idolatry and fornication. Because now, however a woman feels that day, because a woman's feeling, they go back and forth each day about what they believe in. One day she could be an Israelite, the next day she a Christian. One day she a Christian, the next day she a Wiccan. One day she a Wiccan, the next day she Muslim. She Nation of Islam. So it's like they're subject to change at any given moment by the changing of seasons and how they feeling that day and whatnot. So if you follow behind her, then you ultimately gonna fall into that same spirit of idolatry that she's naturally, that she naturally harkens onto just because by proxy of her own feelings, bastardizing the truth, which is why she needs a man to get her in lockstep with the proper understanding and just basically just fall behind what he's telling her, because that man, that strong man of the Lord is not going to view the truth from an emotional perspective. It's not going to view the truth from a what I feel perspective. It's going to view the truth from what is, and the words of the Most High being more holier than anything that we can bring to the table. But a woman, due to that the feeling and the level of pride that's associated with having interchangeable feelings, because interchangeable feelings is a very selfish emotion when you think about it. Because basically you're telling the world that everything should be subject to how I feel about it in the moment. And that's exactly what women do. So when that pride comes into it as well, now it's saying, okay, I know more. She's basically saying in that moment, if she's trying to twist the scriptures, she's saying, I know more than the Lord.
But it's just because of the emotion. It's just the emotion.
The feelings and the emotion. That's all it is the feelings and the emotion. I know the word of God should be this because I think this is what it should be, not because of what it actually says.
It's not fair that you get to have two women and I don't get to have two men.
Exactly. Oh, well, here's a situation where it actually doesn't really say this, and it really says this, trying to twist it and make up words and bring in words out of context, try to fit what you want to fit.
A woman will say, a woman's not fit to lead. She's like, well, that's not true because in the Bible, Jezebel ruled Ahab. Exactly. You see what happened?
Exactly. You see what happened there? Oh, well, brother, Miriam was a prophetess. So yeah, you saw what happened to her too when she tried to overstep. So it's like, brother, what are you talking about, sister? What are you talking about? The Most High has never changed the nature of his order. He just later on in the book just put it in writing, but it was always there because you got to understand at that time period when the ancient world, when Ahab and Jezebel and Miriam and Deborah and all of that were on the scene, Esther, all of that, it was understood that a woman doesn't lead a man. It was understood that a woman her role is different from a man's role. It was understood that a man is the head. It was understood at that point in time, so it didn't need to be written down. The Most High just used one of his servants to write it down, and writing later when giving a message to Israelites that was scattered in other lands and followed other heathen customs. That's all it is. It doesn't mean that the Most High, changed what it was from then to what it is during the time of the Apostle Paul.
Exactly, bro. And that's what leads us back to what you said, man, is that when you look at a woman, because you gotta understand Israel is like a tree, man. Obviously Yahushua is the roots, the nations are the branches, but you gotta look at yourself as an individual tree, man. You're the stems and she's the leaves. They blossom up, they're beautiful for a season, then they start to fall away, and the next thing you know, they gone. Especially in this society, my nigga. But I want to get this in Matthew 7:24 because that's why I told you at the beginning. if you brothers only watch the videos that we put on these channels, all right, bro. This is the last fucking time, bro. I keep telling y'all niggas, do not come on my fucking page if you not asking me a question about what I'm talking about, bro. That shit is so disrespectful, bro, and it shows me that you don't fucking understand. I haven't seen you do this, but bro, if y'all come on my page and you not asking me about the topic that we talking about, bro, don't fucking ask the question, bro. God damn, bro, it's just so fucking annoying, bro. But anyways,
this ain't the platform for that, bro. This is about edification and feeding knowledge through the spirit. This ain't a celebrity gossip channel. There's plenty of
bro,
niggas
y'all
on
be
YouTube
talking about
that
fresh
shit.
and fit, and I don't give a fuck about nothing, bro. I'm trying to save y'all souls, and y'all asking about a fucking demon who worships the devil, bro. Who gives a fuck about Kanye West, man? That nigga ain't gonna help you from not taking a jab in the mark of the beast, bro. Get your fucking mind right, bro. And look, I'm not going at you directly, bro, because I know you probably haven't gone on my page. But a lot of y'all, bro, be clicking. And that's why I said at the beginning of the video, so ironic of what I said. I said, for those of y'all who don't click on my videos, unless it's talking about a woman, you niggas are going to get destroyed, bro. The reason why is because you're not going to be able to understand what we're talking about the woman, and you're not going to be deep-rooted. You don't have a foundation. That's why I tell y'all, for those of y'all, because right now we got 12. Yesterday we had, what, like 5, 6 niggas? A lot of y'all be coming on the live thinking that, oh, it's talking about women, it's talking about women, click. But your dumb ass don't got the true knowledge and understanding, man. Honestly, a simp is a brother who only gets knowledge about hoes, but not anything else in his life. Because the woman is the last thing that you need to worry about, bruh. Y'all niggas got a fucking, bruh, the dollar's about to collapse. The house is about to collapse. World War III is about to happen. You know what I'm saying? They about to mandate the fucking V card. Next, you know, chick gonna be on the scene. Niggas asking me about fucking Kanye West. Man, fuck Kanye West, bro. No disrespect. It's fucking annoying. But
just real quick, I want to just get this precept. This is Proverbs 1:22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Jake, you gotta wake up, man. You gotta start thinking deeper. This truth is shout out to Menadizat. He made that video. This truth is not for low level thinkers, you know. So it's like you got to think bigger, bro. You got to think deeper. It's not you got to think deeper than the surface. This truth is not about this truth is not about women, bro.
Niggas don't read the title. I said being a simp will get you and your woman killed, bro. But you gotta look at my channel and see what I'm not talking about a random nigga getting shot because he smashed another dude's wall. I'm talking about what's going to happen in real life, bro. Y'all niggas gotta wake up, bro, because it's so fucking annoying, man.
Come on.
But anyways, man, let me get back into this. Like I said, bro, if you watch my videos just to get women, you should just click off right now because you're not gonna be able to get all the pieces together, bro. The book isn't about one chapter or one verse. You got to read the entire book, including the bitter parts. But I want to get to Matthew. I think we were at 6 or 7. Matthew 7:24. Therefore, whosoever hears the saying of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the wind blew and beat upon the house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. So this is why I bring this precept up, is that when it comes down to y'all getting this truth and understanding, you got to have a deep root on the Most High. But more importantly, because from the Most High is Yahweh Shai, and he's that rock, he's that foundation. So you got to be deep rooted in the spirit of Yahweh Shai to the point where you're willing to endure the affliction. Because when you're willing to endure the affliction, again, when those winds come, the rain and all those things come to try to take you off center, you're not going to move. And also, you got to understand, a lot of times the wind and the water can be your woman, because there's times where she's just going to flip out and just switch up, and she's going to rattle you unknowingly. And you got to be willing to just step back and just look at her like you just a little kid. Like get your shit together. Let's go. Like, you having one of your moments, probably that time of the month. Look, you good. Just come on. I'm gonna not talk to you for a week. You know, you unclean right now. We're gonna come back to, you know what I'm saying? You can't be moved by a female, even a woman in this truth. And I know sometimes it can be bad because you see that a woman has some good aspects, you start to get emotionally attached and your spirit starts to become as one. But you got to understand, your spirit is masculinity, her spirit is femininity. And at the end of the day, the Most High is not the author of confusion. So if your spirit is getting too wrapped up in a woman, you got to ask yourself, are you really in that type of order? Because when your soul, when your spirit gets too wrapped up in a woman, especially in this society, knowing what women are capable of, verse 26, and everyone that heareth the saying of mine and does them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. And what I was saying too is that when you think about a house that's built upon the sand, it's shakeable, it's moving. No, it's not on topic, bro. We talking about the difference between a man and a woman. We're not talking about Kanye West, bro. You got one more time, bro. Read the title, bro. We're not talking about Kanye, bro. We're not even talking about God, bro. If you're not an Israelite, you might as well just leave. But getting back to what I was saying, in regards to what we're talking
And
about,
who are you, just real quick, who are you to come in the comment section and tell the people that's making the video what the topic of the video is, brother? Who are you to say that?
I'm saying, bro. Like, I ain't never even seen your ass on my channel before, bro. I mean, honestly, bro, I don't got time for this nigga. I might just block this nigga, bro. Man, so many damn trolls, bro. That shit is annoying. But getting back to what we was talking about, what were we talking about, bro?
Man, I'm thinking about this dude now. That's what I'm saying, man. You was talking about the foundation, though.
Man, see, a dude like that will get killed, bro, because he just clicked on my page, not even thinking, bro. You know, that's simple, that's low level thinking, bro. Like, you gotta come onto a page and understand what's being talked about and ask a question in relation. See, he probably don't pay attention, bro, and that's why, no disrespect to the brother, if he is an Israelite, he probably not gonna make it. I don't even think he's an Israelite based off his profile, but I'm not gonna cast aspersions. But that's what I'm talking about, man. Y'all gotta be deep rooted in shit that fucking matters, man. Because again, what does Yahweh Shai say? Be watchful of the times. Study to make yourself improve. Well, that's Paul, but I mean, you know, this related through the scripture. Get the water, get the living water, get the understanding, man. Get the spirit on you, man. Be a servant. You know, do good works, man. That's what's going to give you that solid foundation, man. Not a woman. A woman is never going to give you a solid foundation. And you're going to start to notice, man, and a lot of these women who seen you on Instagram, or they might have seen you on YouTube and that you have a page, especially me and Malak, you know, in Ghetto, we teach and all these things. And they think like, oh, he's a good man, but he's kind of boring. And I promise you, man, the Most High is going to allow them to go with some lukewarm ass Israelite nigga, right? And then she's going to see this nigga bitch up and she's like, oh, Asha Ibad, Malak, I'm one. I'm sorry. You think you can take me in? Like, because they can't really see the true treasure that's in front of them. Because again, we're like gold, but we got to go through that refinement before we're shining. We're not going to really be shining into the kingdom, man. So at the end of the day, a woman wants to look at what's shiny, but she got to look at what's shining spiritually, but she can't because she's not the Most High. The Most High looks at things from the inward parts. Flesh looks on the outward side. So you got to always remember that, like I said, and you got to focus on your foundation. And if a woman comes and becomes a part of your foundation, cool. But if she's on your house, she's like an accessory. She's like the furniture. The house is always going to be there, but the furniture can come and go. You feel me? You got to always remember that. You got to always remember that. The Most High will never change, but a woman can change tomorrow.
Con, I want to bring out a precept to the point that you mentioned about that treasure, man, because a lot of people ain't going to recognize this before it's too late. This is the book of Isaiah, the 45th chapter, and the third verse. And I will give thee the treasures of darkness and the hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which called thee by name, am the God of Israel. For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect. It don't say for Leah, my servant's sake. It don't say for Rachel, my servant's sake. It says for Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect. And Israel is the tribes, which Jacob's name was turned into Israel, and Israel just representative of his sons, the 12 tribes, man, which the 12 tribes are the sons of Israel. You know, the son, all the 12 tribes are headlined by a man's name, from Reuben, the oldest, down to Benjamin, the youngest. But continuing on, for Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect, I even call thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. So the thing about it is that the Lord has given his elect men. The Lord has given his hopeful elect men, the men of Yahweh, the men who are occupied in his truth, the men that can have that eyes to see. He's given us, Lord will, the treasures of darkness, man, and the hidden riches of the secret places. We know the kingdom. We know the script, we know the story, man. We have eyes to see into what the script behind this society is, man. We have the script to the play and the stage that the world is. You gotta think about it. How about you? I was saying this the other day to Young High, or to Ash, that Yahweh Shemi Shah is the ultimate Jake, man. The ultimate Jake. You know, you look at Jake. Yeah, exactly, bro. You look at Jake. You know, we big into storytelling, and you can see that through the hip hop music. You can see that through the rap. You can see that through, and you know, brothers got different opinions about the rap and all that. Look, this ain't about that, but you know, just you can't whether it's nigga shit or not. It is a story of some sort that's being told. You know, so Yahweh Shema Shah is the ultimate Jake, because this whole world is a stage. This whole world is a story. You look back in ancient Europe, man. You know, some of the biggest playwrights, you know, were so-called black men with Jakes. You know, and even that transition into today's time period. You know, Jake have the distinct ability to tell a story like no other. Jake have the distinct ability to direct a play like no other. Jake have the distinct ability to act out parts of a movie like no other. You know, so Yahweh Shah is the ultimate Jake, because he's directing everything. He's got eyes on everything. He's controlling every piece of the puzzle, man. So because Yahweh Shah is the ultimate Jake, and he has this place as a stage, as a as pretty much just a play that with interchangeable moving parts as he sees fit. He's giving his men the script behind that play. He's giving his men the script to know the past, the present, and the future, to know exactly what's to come based off the past, like the scripture say, declaring the end from the beginning. He's giving his men the proper understanding of that. So it's like that's where the value lies, because there's only a certain amount of men that have that proper understanding. So it's going to be a very small amount who can see, who we can literally see into the future, man. And brothers be, oh man, you don't know exactly how it's going to be. I'm not saying we know exactly how it's going to play out, but we can see into the future, because we know the script. We know how this place is going to end, and we know some of the things that are going to happen in the meantime, between now and between the downfall of the society, in terms of some of the plagues and the prophecies all the prophecies that have to come to pass. You think about it. You got famine of the word. You got plagues. You got all the different plagues. You got the MLB. You got World War III, and amongst many other prophecies that have to happen, that have to ensue as well. The scriptures, the understanding reaching the four winds of the earth. I mean, so and many more others that are going to come to pass. We can see into that because we understand the script. We have a behind the scene access to the play. We literally got VIP passes to Yahweh Shah. We got VIP passes to the director of this play, called the world, man.
Basically,
so it's like
we get a sneak peek every single day.
Exactly, every single day we get a little bit here and there to what's happening. So we know the story, and we know exactly how it's going to end. So there's great riches in that. There's great value in that right there. So when that day comes, when it's shown who the Most High's chosen men are, like the scriptures say, then shall it be known who am I chosen. When it's shown who the Most High's chosen are, the men that know the play, the men that know the script, the men that have had that behind the scenes access the whole time are going to be the ones that shining, because we know we going to be the only ones that know, and that know exactly how everything's going to be turning out. So we're going to be the only ones that's not frantic. We're going to be the only ones that the Most High is putting the spirit on to have a mindset of solitude, to have a mindset of peace while the world is in chaos, to have a mindset of rest while the world is going haywire, man. And because of that, people are going to be running to you for understanding and knowledge. People are going to be looking at you like, man, why are you so calm? What's going on? What's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen next? So you're going to be able to tell them, play by play. Okay, this has happened. This has happened. This is why this has happened. This is why this is going on. And this is what's going to come in the future. And a lot of women are going to be part of those people that's asking you for this, that, and the third. And, you're going to have to discern at that point in time whether you want to, take them in and whatnot. But at the end of the day, the Most High is going to put the spirit on those men, because those are the men that haven't given their strength unto women. Those are the men that haven't been defiled with women, like it says in Revelation 14 chapter. Those are men who haven't having been taken aback by their ways, and
Mhm.
ultimately worship them at the behest of worshiping Yahweh Shah. So it's like it's in order to have the backstage patch to the secrets, in order to have a like it says, the treasures of darkness, in order to have those treasures of darkness and those hidden riches and secret places that the Most High gave unto Jacob and his and Israel, being his tribes and the men that fall within whatever tribe we come from. You know, you got to have order associated with that. You got to have loyalty associated with that. Yahweh Shema Shah's only gonna give that backstage pass to his men that are loyal. He's not gonna give it to men who are simps. He's not gonna give it to Ahabs. He's not gonna give it to Adams. You know who? And shout out to Adam. I ain't trying to get too hard on Adam. But he ain't gonna give it to understanding and all that. But he ain't gonna give it to certain men who are willing to forsake the will of the Father for the will of the moment. And oftentimes, the will of the moment, let's be real, more often than not, has to deal with a woman. Let's just be 1,000 with it. The will of the moment, more often than not, has to either deal directly with a woman or about something in relation to a woman. And I want to get this right here. This is the book of Proverbs, the 31st chapter and the 3rd verse. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. So we can't give our strength unto them. Yeah, we respect them for what they bring to the table. Yeah, if she's doing what she's supposed to do. If she's doing what she's supposed to do, yeah, you love your woman. You honor your woman. Let's go to First Peter, the 3rd chapter. This is first Peter 3:7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife. So we give honor unto our wives, unto the women that you with. You know what I'm saying? For you brothers that got wives and brothers that got the women you deal with and whatnot, you give honor unto them, and you respect them for what they do. You give honor to them for what they do, and whatnot. If she's in her right mindset and doing what she's supposed to be doing, because she is the weaker vessel, and you teach her and you guide her in the right direction, but you don't worship her. You don't give your strength unto her. You don't tell her your secrets. You don't pull a Samson. You know what I'm saying? And just when she's applying that pressure onto you to go in a certain direction, you fold up and you tell her all your secrets, and you ultimately don't show reverence to Yahweh Shema Shah. You don't do that. But you do honor her. So it's a balance you got to have, because like it says, if given thy strength unto women, or nor thy ways that destroyeth kings. So ultimately, giving your strength unto women is a gateway for destruction, which means what? It's a gateway to hell, because as a woman, her mindset is naturally and more inclined to hell than heaven. Her mindset is more naturally inclined to death than life, because life, like I said earlier, life being aka righteousness, has a very monotonous tone associated with it. Death has a very sporadic, spontaneous, exciting mood associated with it, because it's ever so
Always
changing.
thrilling.
It's always thrilling. It's always moving and shaking in a different direction each day. But oftentimes, because it lacks that stability, it lacks that 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 repetitive nature. You don't practice the forms of righteousness. You don't practice the ways of righteousness over and over and over again. You don't learn how to be right through repetition. You basically just, if this is this, you boarded this, now you go to the next thing. You boarded this, now you go to the next thing. You never learn how to perfect anything, which is just ultimately going to lead you to a whole bunch of confusion and chaos, man. So that's why you can't give your strength under women, for all those reasons that we've all just been saying.
Bro. And I just want to make this point. I'm not gonna make this live too long. I know you gotta work and shit, bro. But I want to get this in Luke 14:32 or verse 33. So likewise, whoever of you that forsaketh not all that he hath cannot be my disciple. Remember what you said in Revelation 14:4. It says, though, I'll just read it real quick. This is the book of Revelation. We'll go to chapter 14:4, 144. And these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. They are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he go. They were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb. And then I just want to get this in verse 8, Luke 18, and I want to go to verse 22 or verse 23. And when he heard this, he was very sorrowful, for this man was very rich. In regards to the rich man asking Yahweh Shai, if he would be willing, if he could follow him. He said, give up everything you have. So verse 24 says, and Yahushua saw that he was very sorrowful. He said, how hardly shall they that have riches enter into the kingdom of the Most High? For it is easier for a camel to go through a needle's eye than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom. And they say, and they that heard it said, who then can be saved? He said, the things which are impossible with men are possible with Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Then Peter said, lo, we have left all and followed you. And he said unto them, verily I say unto you, there is no man that has left house or parents or brethren or wife or children for the kingdom of the Most High's sake, who shall not receive manifold more in this present time and in the world to come, life everlasting. So I wanted to read that because at the end of the day, man, again, women are beautiful, but you know, at the end of the day, bro, you got to understand when you follow the Lamb wherever you go, more often than not, a woman's not going to be with you.
Come on.
It is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, you got to always understand that. And also, you brothers may not know this, but there's a lot of women watching you. There's women I know who be watching my lives, lives. You know, like let's just be real, bro. When you shedding your light, in those times where a woman's not being carnal, she can see it. And a lot of times, bro, you may think that because she's not DMing you all the time, like, oh, why is that? Well, nah, bro, you got to understand something when it comes to this. Judah said, knowledge is an aphrodisiac to a woman. It's something that a woman is extremely attracted to. So you got to understand the knowledge is what's going to be needed for her in that day. And she knows that she needs to hearken on to you. But a lot of times, her doing all these little bullshit, oh, I'm going to call him now, I'm going to text him, I'm going to watch his stories, I'm going to like his posts. A lot of that shit is just to see if you're not going to be like these other niggas, man. Because there's even niggas in Israel who be simping for these women.
Yes, there is.
All
Yes,
in the
there is.
DMs, always trying to hit them up. But if you're a righteous man, bro, you always at your foundation, and you understand what? That a woman is just gonna follow you when she needs to. So at the end of the day, bro, like whatever the woman does, whatever, she needs you more than you ever need her, bro.
Calm. You know, ultimately, you know, we us as righteous Israelite men, you know, we the prize. People always say, you know, especially in the red pill, who the prize, a man or woman. Hey, right now, honestly, no one's the prize because it's not revealed, you know, who the elect are. And well, let's go to Isaiah the 13th chapter real quick. It's Isaiah 13 and 11. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the hardiness of the terrible. I will make a man even more precious than fine gold, even a man than the wedge of Ophir. So through the travail that punishing in the world is going to come, that's where the men who are the prize are going to be shown. So right now, you know, we hope to be those men, and this is only men. Women are not even associated with this. This is only men. So people talk about who the prize is at the third. Like I said, in my opinion, no one's the prize right now because we don't know who these men are going to be yet. We hope to be these men who are those who are more precious than fine gold, but we don't know if we are yet, and we haven't gone through the tribulation period associated with bringing these men to light, because the men who are that fine gold are going to be the men that go through that furnace of affliction. I want to get this right here real quick. You said what?
You going to Sirach?
Sirach, the second chapter.
In the 5th verse.
Khan. That's the spirit. Sirach chapter 2, and I'm gonna actually start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. So that time of trouble is, you know, when you associate with Isaiah 13 and 11, that's going to be that time where the Most High punishes the world. Now, this is also talking about just saying our everyday walk as well. But, you know, the time of real trouble, the time of Jacob's trouble, you know, that's going to be when the Most High punishes the world, and when wickedness is abounding more and more, and he sends those plagues like he did on Egypt onto the earth, like he says in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. So that's going to be that time of trouble. It says, cleave not unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. For gold is tried in fire, and in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So the furnace of adversity and that fire is ultimately going to be Jacob's trouble. It's ultimately going to be, what do you do when you got to give everything up for the Most High? What do you do when faith is the only option? What do you do when it's hey, you got to shout out Manadazak again? What do you do when it's just faith and Esau? What do you do? You know, what do you do? Do you choose Esau or do you choose faith? Because quiet as kept, those are your only two options. People may not want to hear it that way, but if you don't choose the Most High, you have chosen Esau, aka you have chosen Satan.
Hey, this is a Sirach 27:5. The furnace proveth the potter's vessel, so the trial of man is in his reasoning.
Con, and your reasoning, man. Your reasoning when, because reasoning, it's easy to have reasoning in your everyday life when everything's going good. It's easy to have reasoning in everyday life when you don't really have to make any real life or death decisions. But what is your reasoning? What is your level of reasoning and understanding and discernment when you got to make life or death decisions? We got to make decisions solely based off what you can't see, just what you believe in the Lord and what's in your mind and your studies and your walk of faith. That's when your reasoning really comes to the forefront. So it's like that. It's easy to say things right now, but when it's time, that's when it's all shown. When it's time to exercise those acts, that's when it's really shown. Like, hey, what you gonna do? So that's just what it is, man. And ultimately, this is gonna be a decision that men are gonna have to make. Notice all these are always associated with men. It says, "For gold is trying to fire and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." Now, that doesn't mean that women aren't going to be tried as well, because women are going to be tried too. But who does it start with? It starts with the men, because the men are going to be the leaders through that furnace. The men are going to be the ones who are assisting others through that furnace. The men of the Most High, the 144,000 men, are going to be men who are assisting the rest of the elect through that furnace, who are pillars of rest for the rest of the elect, who are pillars of wisdom and understanding for the rest of the elect. Which majority of that includes women, man. Let's just be real. Majority of the elect, not the elect. Majority of the rest of the 1/3 is going to be women, because we're going to have a whole bunch of women in the kingdom, and a little one's going to become 1,000. So how can that be the case if majority of the 1/3 is not women? And just off the numbers as well, we already know that, because there's more women in the earth than men. There's more Israelite women on the earth than there is men. So just off the numbers, we know that too. But it all starts with the men. The men are going to be the ones that lead and that set the tone for the rest of the nation. The 144,000 men are going to set the tone for the rest of the nation. And they're going to be the ones that the rest of the nation relies on, gets their strength from. It's like all the strength from Yahweh Shema Shah is put on the 144,000. And then the 140, it's like a boatload of strength. It's like the Most High tossed a barrel full of strength from the heavens onto the world. And first, it comes down to the 144,000 men. And then the 144,000 men that have that strength cast off the reserves, or put the reserves of strength onto the rest of the nation who don't have that same level of strength, but can rely on a higher level of strength to help guide them and associate and cling their reserves of strength onto the higher pillar of strength. If you kind of see what I'm saying.
Hey, bro, to the higher pillar of strength. And again, man, this is why we made it. Being a simp was a title. Being a simp will get you and your woman killed, because a lot of times y'all want to be a simp because you feel that's the best way to keep your woman around. And at the end of the day, man, you need to remember this one scripture, Zechariah 13:9. I will bring the third part through the fire, and will find them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. Now, when it says my name, is that talking about Sarah or Danielle or Rashida or Tiano or whatever, your precious Aqua? Look, man, if you got a wife, that's a beautiful
chosen daughter of Yahweh.
Yeah, but this is they shall call on my name and I will hear them. So you got to call on the Most High's name. You know what your woman's gonna be saying in that day? This is 1 Corinthians 11:8. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. And I want to get verse 7. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of the Most High, but the woman is the glory of man. So look, man, when you're not a simple-minded nigga, you understand that the woman is created for you. So why would you Why would you follow the lead of a woman when the Most High is directly telling you through his what? His prophets, through his sons. I mean, through his sons, Slaki, through the apostles, through Paul, bro. Like, bro, she's under you. She's gonna follow you. Why are you worried about her? Paul said, "Look, man, he would rather you be like him. He understands you gotta get a couple nuts off, man. That's what he's saying. But at the end of the day, it comes with it. But at the end of the day, bro, you gotta always focus on the doctrine. Always focus on the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shai, bro. Because when you always keep everything in focus and proper perspective, you will never end up like Ahab. You will never allow a rebellious, cantankerous woman to come and destroy your peace and shake you off your foundation. And next thing you know, you out of the truth because of a female, bro. That's a fucking abomination, man. So always stay on your principles as a man and always keep everything in the proper order.
Beautiful points, just beautiful points to round that out. Like you said, you're an abomination to the Lord if you allow a weaker vessel person, or someone who, honestly, let's just be real, is a perfect vessel for Satan. If you allow a person like that to take you out of this understanding, out of this truth, ultimately, man, you're nothing but an abomination to the Lord. Like you're spittle unto the Lord. The Lord looks at you and is disgusted with you as a man, and you don't never want to be disgusted in the
And
eyes of
you can feel that inside of yourself when you a fucking simp that you're spittle to the Most High, man. Because it's just not
Exactly.
It's not right in your spirit as a now. If you an Edomite and a woman roll over you, hey, bro. I mean, hey, I ain't nothing new. but if you a Jake man, bro, that should not never ever be the case, bro. I'm honestly, bro. The fact that I don't even have a relationship, but the fact that a woman doesn't have to follow my lead, even though I know I'm above her, is a fucking vexed spirit. So can you imagine me being a Isaiah 2:11, or what is it, 2:11 or 3:11, where it says woman will rule over thee, like
it's Isaiah 3.
Isaiah 3:11. That is so vexing to my spirit, bro. So it's not 3:12, Salaki.
Yeah,
So I'm never. It's not natural for us to be ruled over by women. So you shouldn't consciously want to be ruled by a woman and allow a woman to lead you. Because I promise you, bro, in the tribulation, your woman gonna be in the woods. She gonna have a feeling saying we should go north, and you telling her to go south. And next thing you know, you're gonna be led to UN soldiers, and now your ass is gonna be dead. And you know what she's gonna do when them UN soldiers come and she wicked? She gonna try to suck their dick and say kill him. I promise you.
Exactly. I mean, we all know the same, bro. We all know how it goes down. In the so-called black community, we all know how it goes down, man. Your woman acts as your woman. You have some street beef, or whatever, or you got something going on, and your woman, she allegedly riding with you or not. You get killed in the situation and all that, and next thing you know, she's sucking the dick of the dude who killed you. We all know that happens all the time. More often than not, she was probably had a pact with that nigga to get you off. She probably was enticing you and getting you closer to him through hey baby, let's go here. Meet me here. I got she enticing you through her soft speech, through her actions, things of that nature. She enticing you in that through her sex. She enticing you in such a way, or just through your through playing on your vulnerability to her in a moment when you were more vulnerable with her. She plays on that, and that'll get a nigga upset. Now she got you wrapped up in her emotion.
I had a nigga almost kill people because he got set up by his girl.
Exactly. All that stuff happens, man. Because honestly, bro, when you in that spirit of pent up emotion and whatnot, now you liable. Now you're not thinking logically, and you liable to get caught up in any kind of situation. So say you tell a woman something in a vulnerable moment. Now she's trying to use that against you. Now you mad and you upset. And she's like, man, fuck you. I'm gonna go here, this and the third. And now you chasing after the bitch, but you don't know is while you chasing after the bitch, she knows exactly where she going, and she going to the exact same spot. She told that the nigga that is about to kill you, linked up with her and said we gonna meet. Told her, lead him here, and this is why I'm gonna get that nigga. And all because that happens, and don't get it twisted. That nigga who killed you, and also the women are set for judgment from Yahweh Shema Shai. Don't get it twisted. Yahweh Shema Shai ain't gonna let them get away with that at all. They gonna get it from the Lord. But let's be real, the situation, you know, you got to be was enacted or the situation came to its fullness. I'm not gonna say sprouted because ultimately that was the woman and that dude, but the situation came to its fullness because as a man you assisted because we got to be real. It's easier to say it was her fault and it was the other dude's fault, and that's true. Ultimately, it is their fault because they were the ones that they had a game plan to murk you. They was ones that they had an operation to murk you. So it was them, but we can't be in that mindset as Israelite man. We gotta always look what can we do in a situation to put ourselves in the best possible position. And honestly, if you giving your strength on the woman by letting her and wrap you into her childish games, her emotional. As a man, you gotta recognize that and say, you know what, I ain't gonna let her take my strength. I ain't gonna let her entice me into a direction in which she's trying to get me caught up. And that's the spirit right there because I'm gonna go to this account real quick, but I just want to get this precept first. This is Proverbs 29 and 29 and 27. An unjust man is an abomination to the just. So we were just talking about earlier how if you a simp, you are an abomination to the Lord. Well, hey, isn't the Most High the ultimate just? Isn't the Most High the ultimate just man? Because he is a man and he is just. He's righteous in all his ways. So he's the ultimate just man. And an unjust man is an abomination unto the just. So an unjust man in general, unjust Israelite man, a simp, a man who follows after women, a man who worships women, a man who gives women his strength. Man, that's a man that's very unjust, and you're an abomination to the just, meaning you're an abomination unto the Most High, the ultimate just man, and Yahweh Shah. So you don't ever want to be in that position. So I'm gonna go to this account real quick. Because like we were saying earlier in regards to, letting a woman entice you into a certain direction. Like as men, like I said, it's easy to just cast blame on the people. Don't get it twisted. They will be deserving of that blame. But we got to look in it like, what can we do to prevent ourselves from getting in a certain situation where we get caught up? And being a simp is leading you on a fast track to getting caught up by any means necessary because you ultimately value her opinion of you more than you maintaining and keeping your strength. You value making her happy over you maintaining and keeping your strength. And this is the book of Judges, the 16th chapter. And I'm gonna start at the I'm gonna jump through and all that, but I'm gonna start at the fourth verse. And it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah, obviously Samson, who loved and he came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and said unto her, entice him and see wherein his great strength lies. So just like we were saying, that nigga come to that bitch and say, hey, get him an argument, have him chase you and whatnot. Because try to get him to this location right here, so that that way we can handle business and murk him, and then you be with me. You know how niggas in the street, the simp thug simps be, man, I'm gonna kill that nigga so I can take his bitch, so she can be with me. All that simp thug love shit, man. But continuing on, a lot of niggas think that shit is hard. No, that shit is simping too. But this is continuing on, entice him and see wherein his great strength lieth, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him, and we will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver. And Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee. And Samson said unto her, if they bind me with 7 green withs that will never dry, then shall I be weak and be as another man. The lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 green withs, which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. So Delilah, just working on behalf of the Philistines, just getting information from Samson, enticing him, getting the scoop on Samson and whatnot, and taking it back to who she really loyal to. And so it's like, if you as a man give your, you as a man, she's loyal to somebody, but she may be loyal to someone who's working against you. in the wilderness, or I'm not to just say that, but we always use that setting, but in the time of Jacob's trouble, I'd rather say in the time of Jacob's trouble, you may have a woman who is fresh meat for Esau, man. You know what I'm saying? She can be used by Esau to entice you and to really get you, because you the target, not her. She not the target. You the target. You the righteous Israelite, man. You the one with the secrets. You the one with the understanding. You the one that can properly teach the nation and get more people woken up to what's going on in the moment. They want you, so she can be used as bait to try to take you off your center and lead you into the hands of Esau, man. So you got to watch out for that. But continuing on, that's exactly what Delilah's doing here. With the Philistines. Verse I'm gonna go down to verse 10, because we all know the story and whatnot, didn't work and all that. But verse 10, and Delilah said unto Samson, behold, thou hast mocked me. So she's enticing him more. Oh, see, man, you don't believe me. You don't trust me. I'm supposed to be your woman. You don't trust me. You know how Jake when we do in the world. Man, I'm supposed to be your wife. You don't trust me. They say silly shit like, oh, we can't have a relationship without trust. They say little silly shit like that when you don't want to tell them everything, when you don't want to, when you want to maintain some sort of strength within the paradigm of y'all relationship, man. They say little silly shit like that to throw you off your game. Oh, you're not really in love with me. They say they say little dumb shit like that to try to get you to accomplish something that she's really trying to accomplish against you, or trying to use against you for either for that present moment or for later on down the line, just trying to gather intel for later on down the line against you, man, or to gather more vulnerable things about you so she can use it in a moment of weakness later on, or a moment of travail for you, or in a moment where y'all going back and forth, and she can try to play on your emotions, try to take something that was personal to you and use that in a time where you may be down and out, to try to rile your emotions up and get you more and more entrapped into her games, man. Because now she got you on an emotional level, because she started basically mocking some things that you take very seriously. That's how they try to play, and that's how they try to get you. That's pretty much what Delilah is doing right here, trying to basically play on Samson's emotions and just make it seem like, oh, you don't really love me. You don't really care about me. Just using modern day terms. But continuing on, and Delilah said to Samson, because behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said to her, that she's saying, now tell me, I pray thee, like please, I'm begging you, please tell me. But in any time that happens, you should that should always be a red flag. But continuing on. And he said unto her, if they bind me fast with new ropes that will never occupy, then shall I be weak and be as another man. So now I'm gonna go down to verse 13. And Delilah said to Samson, whither thou hast mocked me, because of course it didn't work again. And he told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, if thou weaved the 7 locks of my head with the web. And she fastened it with the pin, and said unto him, the Philistines be unto thee, Samson. And he awakened out of his sleep and went away with the pin of the beam and with the web. And she said unto him, how canst thou say I love thee when thine heart is not with me? See, they just like what Israelite women do today. You don't really love me. If you don't tell me everything about you, man, you trying to have secrets from me. We supposed to be one, and you trying to have secrets with me. You trying to hide stuff from me. What you gotta hide? You doing something? That's how they try to play. That's how they try to get with you, man. That's how they try to get you to reveal everything, and get you to have no sort of ammunition against them. It's unfortunate that you gotta do that in society, but it is what it is. That's how they get you to try to have no ammunition against them. Now they got all your weapons. Now they got all your secrets. Now they know exactly which card to push when they want to perform a certain action, or get you, or what exactly to push when they want to get you more and more trapped into their emotions and into their games to accomplish a bigger goal at hand. And that's the same thing in the time of Jacob's trouble. That could be happening where she trying to get you entrapped in a certain mood, and by via using something that's very personal to you. Next thing you know, like I said earlier with the example, you falling out to the bitch and whatnot, Next thing you know, boom, it's a UN soldier right there, ready to take your ass out because you ultimately, like I said, we looking like you could blame her, and the blame is deserving. Don't get it twisted. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is gonna deal with her. But we gotta look for ourselves. We gotta look to see what we can do to put ourselves in the best positions and not always cast blame, because that ultimately doesn't do anything positive for us when we do so, even if the blame is deserving. It's just the reality. But continuing on, and she said to him, how canst thou say I love thee when thine heart is not with thee? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. And it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him, so that thy soul was vexed unto death, just begging and begging and begging and prodding. Then he told her in all his heart and said unto her, basically, getting tired of it, just basically gave her strength, like it says in Proverbs 31, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy way that destroyeth kings. He gave her the keys to his strength and destroyed him, man. Continuing on, there hath not come a razor upon mine head, for I have been a Nazarite unto the Most High from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. Boom, she got him. She got the hook, line, and sinker, the bait and switch, as they call it. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. The bait and switch, as they call it in the red pill spaces and whatnot. And then, but verse 18, and when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come up this once, for he hath showed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hand, and she made him sleep upon her knees. And she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head, and she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. And she said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as the other times before and shake myself. And he wist not that the Lord was departed from him. So basically, his strength was gone, and the Lord was departed from him and whatnot. Just roughly paraphrasing, just from in a light context. But basically, as soon as she got that strength, she went to her gods. She went to her leaders. She went to her the people that basically gave her the mission to entice Samson, and it was over for him. And basically, delivered people to him, made him fall upon his knees, put him into submission, pinned him into submission, and shaved off his hair, man. And it was all she wrote at that point. In the same context today, next thing you know, now the UN soldiers got you, and now they really trying you and putting you through harsh measures. Now you could ultimately still not break and keep faith to Yahweh Shema Shah, or they could just kill you, but they could try to capture you to try to get you to take the MLB, but you can ultimately not do it, and all praises to that. But it's just making your situation a lot harder than it had to be if you hadn't followed behind her and given your strength under her in that moment. So I know that was kind of long, but yeah.
Con, bro. And I want to end it on this because at the end of the day, one thing with Samson is he didn't do these 2 things. 1 Peter 5:8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And look, a lot of women don't like to hear this, but sometimes y'all can be the devil. A lot of y'all brothers, y'all know this, but sometimes you deluded. Sometimes a strange or wicked woman can be just like the devil. So you got to always be sober and always be vigilant. Always be on your 10 toes down or be on your toes. You know what I'm saying? Because especially in that day, bro, you never know what may happen, bro. So keep everything in mind. Be as wise as a serpent, but as harmless as a dove, bro. Play stupid, play coy if you got to. But at the end of the day, bro, it's important. But I'm gonna end it on this one. You got any last statements before we end, bro?
No, I don't really got nothing else to say. Just want to say, Barakatah Yahushai, Lord, what his lesson was edifying for the hopeful elect of the nation Israel only. And keep your strength, brothers, and maintain proper order.
Con, bro.
Shalom.
Con, shalom, bro. Shalom, Yasharala. It's the boy Ash Ibad, meaning fire servant, and Malak Amawan, meaning king of faith.
Faith, yeah.
Hey, man, we hope this was edifying for y'all. I want to give all praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Abba, Baba. Y'all brothers be easy, man.
Yes.